Hi YouTube, in this video I'm talking about my first time application with TCA. This one is the Dermalore TCA 15% and it's at level 1 and it came in a bottle with 60 ml of product in it. I purchased this, I believe, I want to say sometime last year actually, and I've not applied TCA this whole time. It was actually my mom who was using TCA, and this is one of the lowest. I think there's also a 10%, and so I think 15% is perfect for people of color. I have Fitzpatrick 4-5. Sometimes people say I'm a 4, sometimes people say I'm a 5. If you find yourself to be in that range, I think this is a very safe peel to perform. I think that there's a lot of benefits to using peels, particularly if your goal is to deal with hyperpigmentation, fine lines, and wrinkles. I do have wrinkles around my eyes, but I don't use anything except for my retinol night cream and like serums and stuff. I don't use any peeling agents. I don't use any acids or I try to, because that area is super sensitive and I've been very stressed lately, I try not to do too much around my eyes. But I think that using a peel like this can really help individuals who struggle with hyperpigmentation. A lot of times TCA is deemed to be scary because it works really well for people with Caucasian skin colors, so Fitzpatrick 1, 2, and 3. If you're of lighter skin tone, it works really well because you don't have to do as much mitigation of pigmentation as much as you do if you're a person of color. So it can be deemed scary, but if you do it at home at a low percentage, I can never recommend a high percentage because I have not tried that myself. Also, if you use a high percentage, you can really cause the risk of scarring and hypopigmentation, and you can really make things much worse and go in the reverse direction of what you want. So I don't recommend anything higher. And if you do, like, make sure you're patch testing. I don't know. I just don't recommend it because it's so scary to me. So when I first used this on October 13th was the day I did it. It took an entire week for the peeling to go over. I applied a bit, like I didn't squeeze out the gauze pad before I applied it. So I applied a bit too much and I had frosting within like the first minute, 30 seconds. And I freaked out. I decided to wash it off with it after a minute of application. It was a bit too much for me, the stinging, it freaked me out. So I washed it off. I went on with some healing products. So I went with this is the Chemist Confessions Aquafix, and it's basically a clear gel solution that, can you see what that looks like? Yeah, it's basically a clear gel solution. It's very hydrating. It has 5% glycerine, 5% sodium PCA, so that really helps with irritation. Panthenol 2%, allantoin. They also have metacasicide at 0.5% and sodium hyaluronate. So I think this is great if you are doing a peel. It's great for regular use, but for me, I found it the most useful post-peel. I washed it off, I applied this, then I went on with the Bioderma Cicaplast. I really wish this was available here in Canada. I bought this from Care to Beauty, so I'm going to link their website. This is basically their version of Cicaplast by La Roche-Posay. So I think you can really get a lot from this. It has this really nice texture. And it's just far more affordable than any of the La Roche-Posay stuff. And they make very research-backed ingredients. It's very hydrating. It calms down inflammation, redness. I think that if you're looking to find an alternative, because a lot of times, especially here in Canada, the Cicaplast, the 100 milliliter tube is sold out. And I think that's unfair because I don't think anyone should pay more for less quantity, honestly, which is what the 40 mils is. I think it's around 16 bucks. It's a lot of money for 40 mils of product, and you can go through that in like a couple months. I bought this in the summer. It's been lasting me. There's still quite a bit left. I really love it. I highly recommend this. I will be doing a full review of each of these products, but I'm just trying to focus in this video for all the healing products that I used after my TCA peel. I'm going to post clips of my skin peeling, hopefully, and I've done shorts while I was trying to, I really tried, but when you do a TCA peel and you have to do these videos, it feels very overwhelming. So I'm gonna make another attempt at doing that. I do want to do 2 more peels before Christmas because I really want to have nice skin for Christmas. I have a huge zit here, a huge zit on my chin, and another one here. So I think that sometimes using the peel did not cause this, right? I think other things have caused it. But sometimes any kind of underlying breakouts will come to the surface when you use peels. I also want to talk about the Seravee healing ointment. I think this is a great product, not just for peels, but for other things. I use this particularly around my eyes. I take a tiny bit applied to my eyes. There's still quite a bit, like I got this sometime in the summer. There's quite a bit left. I think you can use this with the like the serums, applied after the serums, after moisturizer. So you can apply this after you apply moisturizer. I think this works really, really well in maintaining your skin barrier. It works really well to not give you that greasy, heavy feel that you get from Vaseline. And it works really well in healing your skin. What you want to focus on post-peel is to really make sure your skin is hydrated so that the flakes and your skin underneath that is generating because you caused injury by putting a peel is nourished and healthy when it comes up. And you want to avoid any kind of thing that can exacerbate irritation and itching and redness, which is very common for people of color and is very common for people who have sensitive skin, which is why I think 15% is ideal for me. I also like to, the first few days, I like to wash my face with a gentle cleanser. This is by Uriage. It is their cleansing oil and it has no soap in it, but it feels so hydrating on the skin and you can actually get a lather still. It's very gentle. It's not going to irritate your skin. But after the first 3 days, I started to, like my skin was tight the next day and I only let that be on my skin for 30 seconds. I started to go on with the Neutrogena cleanser on the 4th day. So after the first 3 days, I started to use this morning and at night to speed up the flaking because I got the cracks right around my mouth first and it radiates outwards from the mouth area and it's just kind of sitting there. It looks bad. It's ugly, but you know, your skin looks really good after the peel. So I try to speed it up with this after day 3. So I don't encourage you to use this early on. I also think that I try to minimize my contact with this because it can cause you to flake more. Like I don't want anyone to feel irritated. So I think I use this morning and at nights, but I also made sure that I was minimizing my contact with this cleanser because this actually has 1% glycolic acid and 4% glycolic acid and also 4% polyhydroxy acid. So I think this may be a bit too harsh for most of you, which is probably why honestly I think I broke out. So let's talk about things that you can do to your skin to prep for the peel. First and foremost, I encourage you to use any kind of depigmenting agents. I forgot to bring this to my table here, but alpha-arbutin is one of my favorite depigmenting agents that you should use both before the peel and post-peel to minimize any kind of hyperpigmentation, any kind of post-inflammatory darkening. And I think you can also, so tretinoin I stopped using every single day. I use the 0.1% tretinoin, which is the micronized one that I got from India. I only use that once or twice a week. And I think that if you don't use tretinoin, if you don't have access to tretinoin, make sure that you're prepping your skin with the AHA BHA peel by The Ordinary, or some kind of a gentle peel that's not too, this is a brand new bottle. I highly recommend that you prime your skin with tretinoin, but stop the tretinoin at least 5 days before you do the peel. And if you're priming your skin with a gentler acid like this one, I recommend that you also stop using this 5 days before, because you don't want to irritate your skin. You want to have very controlled like peel, but you want an even peel. So I suggest you also prime your skin. That way you have an even application. The depth of the peel is even across your face. So one of the most important things for when you do a TCA peel is to use excessive amounts of sunscreen. It's gonna look ugly, but it's only for the week that you're peeling where you have to do that much. You do have to use sunscreen every single day, whether you have a peel or not, but when you're peeling and you're flaking, and I think you need to take extra caution because you're coming up with this new skin and you want to make sure that skin is protected from the sun and it doesn't, especially if you're dealing with, if your reason for using a TCA peel is to deal with the hyperpigmentation, you should be very, very good with sunscreen application. Some of my favorite ones is this one. Both of these leave a white cast, but at the same time they give such good sun protection, which is like the key. I was staying home for the last week, so I also really like these two sunscreens. This is the Aven one. It's very heavy. I think that if you have dry skin, which is what you're going to have when you're flaking, this is great. This is also really great. This is the Sun Allergy one by Eucerin. It's one of my favorite sunscreens. I really love how hydrating, like you want your skin to be hydrated when you're doing your peel, like post peel. Also like to use the Eucerin SPF 100. This one works really well if you're very minimalistic. I think this can, like, after the first 4 or 5 days of the peel, I started just using this because I wanted to kind of look a little bit clean and not like a white ghost with, like, you know, it does not leave any white cast. And that is really it for what I do for an acid peel, particularly a TCA peel. I'm going to be doing more content on TCA peel, and as I said, I will take you through with me when I do the TCA peel. Hopefully more of you can enjoy and try this for yourself. This Dermalore website that I bought the TCA peel from is an American website, and they do ship to Canada. However, you do have to pay, I think, like 30 bucks for shipping. So I don't recommend you get it through that. They make really high quality, but I think you should get the stuff from the Dermalore website. But if you have a friend who's going to the States, ask them to pick it up. If you yourself are going to the States, you can take it from like a post PO box or something. But it is pretty expensive to get it shipped here. An additional 30 bucks Canadian just for shipping is quite a bit. But if your budget allows for it, and if you want to get into this soon, I would say their website has a ton of resources. They have a ton of different peels. I've also tried Jesner's peel, and I love Jesner's peel so much, but it is more expensive and I ran out, so I need to purchase it, and I'm waiting for when I go to the States so I can get it. Yeah, that's it. That's all for my video. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.